but I had a chance to film like, hey, you know, check us out at the top of the hill looking down on this dock, and I did all this. This is great. And and about the tool, you know, I built the tool cost into that, and ever since then, every job that I've done where I needed a tool, I built the cost of the tool into the job. Great stuff. So that's what this video is about. So you're going to get a tour of this dock thing that I built, and then you're going to see kind of the beginning and then the end without any of the intermediate of us just kind of dressing this boathouse out with a bunch of shelving and storage and everything else. So it was a day. It was I don't know, $1,000 or something like that. But hey folks, Steve here. Well, else would it be, I guess. So I'm on the job site. So I have a trailer on the job site. A few of my subscribers had asked about, hey, trailer on the job site, because it's always sitting in my backyard. So I'm trying to do a little bit more of that. Today's more of a handyman thing, but here I am. I've got my quote-unquote new truck that I've had for a couple of months now. It's a GMC Canyon, certainly more than capable of pulling this thing here. So with that being said, all I did was I pulled in, opened it up, had a couple things in the aisle, took those out, ready to go. What am I doing? Let me flip this around and I will show you what I'm going to be, well, at least in part. Okay, here we go. There's the trailer. So I'm up here at a lake house, up on one of our local Finger Lakes. And just to look down, that dock down there, which is a really nice, very elaborate, and then I put all of the decking down on all of that. And that's what I did. That was my little piece of this massive puzzle. Hey folks, Steve here. How you doing? This video coming up is a video that I shot a long time ago. This was probably 2020, COVID. This was the summer of COVID. And the setup for this is that in 2019, I had a job that I had to do in the southern states. I'm in upstate New York, and my wife, through her design firm, had clients that knew that I had done construction. I had done some work for them on a limited basis. I had done some work for their business. So they knew of me, they knew of my wife, and they trusted us. And they hired us to go down to their condo, which they had inherited from a family member that had passed away. I believe it was a mother. And they wanted us to go down there and renovate a kitchen, basically gut, strip, put it back all together, along with a few other rooms in the condo. And effectively, we touched almost every room except the bathroom. And we just didn't have time to do the bathroom because I only had a 2-month window of time. We put in easily 7 days a week, with the exception of 2 different weeks. We did a 6-day week and had 1 day off. Otherwise, it was 2 months solid of work, and our days were normally 10-hour days, but we had some 12, 14, and one 17-hour day. So it was really something. Now, because of that job, now that precipitated me needing to get a trailer because I had to go so far away from upstate New York where I live that I needed a way to bring all of my tools with me to this job site. I couldn't afford to get down there and then buy things. Now, that job was a 2-month, $50,000 labor only. So not too bad for 2 months worth of work, but man, we worked for it. So I needed to get a trailer, bought the trailer, figured out Ron Paulk in his smart trailer system, built it out 3/4, loaded it up with whatever I could, took it down, did the job, came back, finished the trailer. 1 year later, the same clientele called us up and said, hey, we've got a lake house, and we are having it rebuilt, basically, within the confines of what code enforcement would allow them to do. They called me, and they said, hey, we've got this guy that's installing the metalwork for a brand new dock, but we don't trust this guy to actually do anything else because of the work that he is doing and how often he is showing up. He was like 8 months on the job or something. It was really weird. And I agreed. I said, hey, great. So this is like a $20,000 deck job, if you will, because I had to do a lot of reframing and everything else. So that gets me up there, and I do all of this. I tell you this because it is that job where I learned to build the cost of new tools into jobs. And that's exactly what I did. I knew that I was going to have to cut a lot of straight lines at the edge because I was actually wrapping this dock in a frame. And because of that, you could actually see very clean lines, and you could see lines that would, you know, not be clean if I tried to cut everything individually. Track saw seemed to be made to order for that, so I built in the cost of a track saw on all 3 tracks for the dual system into this job. It was easy to do, and it really, it functioned exactly like I needed it to. Came out perfect. Now, we are up 1 or 2 years after that, maybe the following year. I don't think it was the fall of that year, but anyway, it's very late in the season, whatever it is. And we are going up, and we are going to install shelving in there. They call it the boathouse. It's really just storage. They don't keep any boats in there. And so that's what we were doing that day, but I had a chance to film like, hey, you know, check us out at the top of the hill looking down on this dock, and I did all this. This is great. And about the tool, you know, I built the tool cost into that, and ever since then, every job that I've done where I needed a tool, I built the cost of the tool into the job. Great stuff. So that's what this video is about. So you're going to get a tour of this dock thing that I built, and then you're going to see kind of the beginning and then the end without any of the intermediate of us just kind of dressing this boathouse out with a bunch of shelving and storage and everything else. So it was a day. It was I don't know, $1,000 or something like that, but it was a nice day, and I always love to work with my wife. That's really cool whenever we have a chance to do that. So that's what this video is about. Thank you very much for sticking with me. If you would like and subscribe, I hope you enjoy it. You should stick around long enough at least to check out that dock. It's impressive. Not because I built it, because of the design of it. I'm just happy that my quality came through to really express the design. Y'all take care. Have a good one. I know you deserve it, and I hope you enjoy what comes next. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, here we go. There's the trailer. So I'm up here at a lake house, up on one of our local Finger Lakes. And just to look down, that dock down there, which is a really nice, very elaborate dock system, is what I had to partially reframe when the dock guys really didn't know what they were doing. So they had to frame in on all of the metal, and I had to go in and reframe some of it. And then I put all of the decking down on all of that. And that's what I did. That was my little piece of this massive puzzle. But today I'm over here and I'm going to be working in this boathouse. And to get to that boathouse, I'm going to ride that tram. There's my lovely assistant, Vanna. I'm going to ride this tram down and unload and then go into there. And all I have to do today is actually install basically about a lot of shelving. We have just a shelving system that they need for winter storage, and so we're taking all of this equipment down, then I'll come up for tools later. So that is the plan for today, and then we have to do a little bit of weatherizing for the here we are riding the tram. Very cool stuff. This tram is rated for, I believe, 500 pounds. Has a safety feature so you don't trap anybody underneath the tram while it's coming down, or a dog or a cat or something like that. So you have to confirm that you're still wanting to come down to the platform here. And that's the mighty deck. I'll show that a little bit later. So here we are at ground level, so to speak, sea level, lake level, whatever you want to call it. Put that slide in as well. That was a pretty cool thing. Put all the ladders in. So here's the dock that I did. And I just put the decking down, but what we are looking at here, as far as this slip, the ladders, middle slip, or middle, I don't know, slip, I'm not a boat guy. Lake is incredibly low right now. Typically, I think you can see it's normally at least a foot, maybe 14 inches higher. Pergola was a later addition. They have lights in the dock, so that'll illuminate when night hits. This slide was really fun. I've gone off of that several times, actually. It's a kid's slide, but it's fully bolted in, certainly, and adults can go off of it. And there's the pump access, and so it actually is a water feature, so there's a lot of water that comes out through there. If I turn that pump on full, it will actually shoot the kids out quite a ways. So we had to tune the pump down a bit. So here is the idea behind this dock. Now, looking at this, you see the trim feature. Because of all the metal work, we actually had to double fascia. And so I used this banding board here as the top fascia. And then I have a 1x12 fascia down below that you can see as well. And everything was spaced out accordingly to hide all of that metal. So it actually worked out fairly well. Looks great. You can't see the metal except for the piers themselves. Because frankly, the metal work was lousy. It was... No. The metalwork was inelegant. It did not look very fancy. Didn't look great as an installation, but we'll see if it lasts the test of time. I did not do the pergola, nor did I actually do the boathouse itself. That was the main contractor that renovated this entire building. I think they kept literally the back wall. Everything else is brand spanking new. There's the tram that we rode. Those steps did pre-exist, and they simply refurbished them and added the new vinyl railing package. Other than that, this boathouse is brand new. That opens up into kind of an outside kitchen, if you will. And then here is what we call, I guess, the boathouse. It's really just storage. So what am I doing today? It's really straightforward. You know, it's handyman stuff today is really what it is. So when they built it, they knew that they were going to do something in here as far as storage. So all the walls are plywood, so that'll make installation very easy. And I simply have to install a system of shelves, just prefabricated shelving systems, and hooks and all of that stuff just for storage. And that's all I'm doing today. So it's really kind of an in and out day. It'll be a little bit to figure out exactly what they need, but nothing overly challenging. This ladder goes up, custom built ladder, goes up to there, and that's a loft for the kids. And that's where they have all their toys and where they can play and do all kinds of really cool stuff. So anyway, this is a neat little thing. Of course, this is part of the outdoor kitchen. So if you go through here, what you have is you open up that little garage door, and then you have a grill system, and it's plumbed during the summertime. And then you have just a really cool outdoor setting for whatever you want to cook. And this, of course, this raised area is a bar that you can set at on the exterior, which looks like this. And they just left everything out. So I don't know if it's our responsibility to put this stuff away. My wife does help them out with things like that on occasion, because they have had her on all design aspects of everything. Matter of fact, she had a hand in designing this entire building, and the one I just showed you, that she really designed this thing from scratch and worked with an architect on the exact plans. She does not do plans. But other than all of this, it's her. She is a talented individual. Why she married me, we will not question. All right, more later when I get some shelves up. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is just install this pre-made rubber, or pre-manufactured Rubbermaid shelving system. This one's upside down, but you get the idea. 3 shelves on a rail system. And so first thing I want to do is I just want to make sure, because I have to clear the overhead door railing, I simply leveled across, made a mark so I know exactly where the top of this is. And then I'll certainly want to be significantly lower so we can have a functional shelf, top storage, without really impeding anything low with these 3 shelves. And I have 2 systems, so I'll install them side by side. So technically you can get then, I think, 6 feet of lineal shelving if you line them up for these 3, or actually they're 4 foot, so you could get actually 8 foot of shelving across here, so we'll see. But you could stagger them. All right, so that's kind of where we're starting. And because I have plywood, I can put these things in anywhere I need to, as opposed to hitting studs. But I can see where the studs are because they're already pre-marked. All right, there we go. The project starts. Okay, here's how it turned out. 1 shelving system there. Everything fits below the track. 3 shelves, and we had room down below for these chairs. Had a couple of hanging systems using the cobalt method, and that worked out there as well. Of course, it is actually now stacked with all of the stuff that was in there to begin with, and we've tried to put that in there neatly and intelligently, along with a lot of the chairs that were just out and about that no one had put together or put back yet. So here's a basket system using the Fast Track, the Rubbermaid Fast Track. I misinterpreted exactly how it's suspended. I thought it was going to suspend higher, like where those round D clips are. So it is a little bit low for the light switch, but it was not enough to move it. They're not in and out of here very often. And then ladder hanging system. And you see over there is the other shelving system. Worked out. There's still plenty of space there for storage, and it's a great time. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So there you go, window storage, right? And a handyman job in the books.